Hi everyone, it's Marina from Say Something Crafty. I'm here to do a quick share with you on some information. I received a question on Facebook Junk Journal Junkies group where I had showed a photo of a little bit of what I was working on, and that was like a piece of the cover. And I received some questions from Dana Sanchez. She had asked me a few things like how she could make something like this and then put it on the cover, or how she could like what kind of weight board to use, stuff like that. So I'm just going to go over it with you real quick. Some really cool stuff if you're like a journal maker and you don't want to, I don't know, like get a bunch of stuff and then have to bake it, then glue it on, and you don't want to go through that whole process. You just want to sculpt onto the cover and then be done, and then do your painting and all your fun stuff. This is a good way to do it. So I learned this method from Luthien Thigh, and she's here on, she does have a YouTube channel. She makes amazing journals, and I will have her channel linked below, along with probably her Etsy store, because she makes some really super amazing stuff, and I took a workshop with her, and she's the one that actually introduced me to the Apoxie Sculpt. And that is these things right here. They come together as a pack. They come together as a pack, and you have part A and part B. So what you do is you take equal parts of A and equal parts of B, and then you mush it together, and then you sculpt with it. And what's cool about this stuff is you don't have to bake it once you're done. You don't have to bake it, and it dries hard. It dries solid, hard, and you're done. That's it. Another thing, when you're working with it, I would keep a spray bottle, maybe a napkin or some wipes, something, because while you're working with it, you're going to want to, it reacts with water, so you can soften it up, you can smooth it out with water, and you're probably going to need to do that because this stuff is sticky. It will get on your hands. It will probably stick to you a little bit, but soap and water, get it off. That's it. Like, it's nothing like hardcore or anything. As for the cover, what to use. Now, I wouldn't use this cover. I'm just using this as an example. I mean, this cover already has some really cool stuff going on, so no, I wouldn't use this cover, but pretend it doesn't have this stuff going on. Pretend it's just a regular book, and it looks like something like this. And say it's like something you buy at the store, and it's just got a paper around the hardcover, and you're gutting it. I would use a book cover that you're recycling. This is Davy's board, which is something that I purchased from Hollanders, and that's hollanders.com, and they have they have really thick book board, and it's really easy to use. You can also use hardboard, which is, you're gonna have to cut that yourself or have a professional cut it for you, because that's a little harder to work with. But I would just say alter a book. Just gut a book, and you can sculpt onto whatever you're making in it. And that's the thing with this: whatever you sculpt it onto, it's most likely gonna stick. If you're going to use medium weight chipboard, I would double it up, and then I would apply something sticky to the surface so it gets that initial stick, because I found I had a little bit of trouble getting it to stick to, not a lot, but a little bit of trouble sticking it to the surface of regular chipboard. Okay, some tools. Depending on what you're making, I went a little overboard and got a ton of tools a long time ago, and these are just some of the things that the main thing that I end up using is this right here, which I have no idea what it's for, but I know what I use it for. I use it for poking little holes and stuff. A stylus. You're going to want a blade, something sharp to like cut your clay with. I mean, depending on what you're doing, these are the main three things that I use. Other times I'll use like this part right here, and I'll scoop stuff out, or I'll, scrape designs into something. But like I said, it depends on what you're trying to make. But I just got all of them out so you could get an idea. Here's some other things you can do with the Apoxie Sculpt, and that is I've made my own beads. I haven't decorated them yet, and I didn't even think of making a video first, because I have a tutorial on how basically like a process video of how I sculpted one of my covers before, and I'll have that linked below so you guys can check it out. and you can see how I do it and what I'm doing. So I made some beads, and like I said, they pretty much dry hard, and I made them all warped and stuff. I wanted them to be weird. And I also did this right here. I didn't know what to do with it. I had a bunch of extra clay after I was done. I don't know why in my head I was going to need a ton of more clay, so I put a bunch of it together. This is what part B looks like, and part A, if I can get it open. Hold on. There we go. So I bought mine on Amazon, and I know you can buy it at Jerry's Artarama, and you can buy it in a few places, but I got mine on Amazon. So another thing you can do with the epoxy sculpt is you can kind of mold stuff. Like these, when I'm done painting it, are going to go in here. So I pushed these into the cover so I'd be able to put them in later when it dried. And that was something I wanted to do, was have these stones on the cover, but I'm like, how am I going to get it to stick in the clay? Well, I just kind of, when I was done sculpting, I just kind of smooshed it in there and smoothed it out a little bit, so that way this will fit in here later when it's all done, and I can just glue it on. If you're making a journal cover and you are and you're doing it from like scratch, I would be careful and make sure that you leave space here, because if you're attaching a spine, you have to remember that you can't have a bunch of stuff right here, otherwise you're not going to be able to put it on. So be careful when you're doing this part to leave this part empty, or put your cover together first and then sculpt on it, because that's what I did the first time. The first time I did a cover was that I made the whole cover together first, and then I painted it, and then I sculpted on it. So this is a different process that I'm doing, but generally, I mean, it's not coming off, but it is going to be heavy. It's like a heavier cover, obviously, because yeah. So you can paint on this, you can glimmer mist, once it's dry, you can glimmer mist on it, you can do all kinds of fun stuff. So I'm really looking forward to that part. That's what I'm about. I was about to do it, and then I got that question, and I was like, I'm just going to make a video real fast. So I wanted to share that with you guys real quick. I hope it was helpful. If you have any questions, let me know. If you'd like to keep up with my current projects and stuff that's going on in my life, follow me on Facebook and Instagram at Say Something Crafty, and I can talk to you guys better there. It's easier for me to reply. So I hope you're all doing well, and I hope this was helpful for you guys, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.